Great Hunter, the story behind the Orion constellation. Tonight, let us look up into the deep of the winter sky and find the most magnificent figure of them all. When the nights grow long and cold, one shape rises to dominate the heavens above all others. A giant, striding across the darkness, 3 brilliant stars form a perfect line at his waist, a belt no one who has seen it ever forgets. A deep red star glows at his shoulder. A dazzling blue-white star burns at his foot, and at his heel there follows a faithful hound, carrying the brightest star in all the night. This is the hunter. This is Orion. We have already told the story of his ending in the tale of the scorpion. Tonight, let us return to the very beginning and tell the story of the hunter himself. Let us drift back into the old days of the world. How Orion first came into being, even the ancients could not agree, and so they told it more than one way. Some spoke of a poor and childless old man named Hyrieus, who was kind and generous beyond his means. One evening, 3 travelers came to his humble door, weary from the road, and he welcomed them in and gave them all that he had, even sacrificing his only ox to set a feast before them. But these were no ordinary travelers. They were 3 of the great gods, walking the earth in disguise. And moved by the old man's kindness, they offered him a single wish. He asked only for a son. So the gods took the hide of the ox he had given them, and by a mystery of their divine power, they breathed life into it and buried it deep in the earth. And when the long months had passed, a child rose up from that buried hide, a son born of the earth itself and the gratitude of the gods, with no mother at all. And they called him Orion. But others told it differently. They said that Orion was the son of Poseidon, the mighty god of the sea, and a woman named Uriel. And because his father was lord of all the waters, Orion was given a wondrous gift. He could walk upon the surface of the sea itself, striding across the waves with his head held high above them, crossing the deepest oceans as easily as other men cross a field. Yet however he was born, all the old stories agreed on what he became. For Orion grew into a giant, the tallest and strongest of all men who ever lived, and by far the most gifted hunter the world had ever known. He carried a great club of bronze that could never be broken, and his hunting hounds ran ever at his side. No creature of the wild, however swift or fierce, could escape him. He roamed the wild places of the earth and cleared whole lands of the savage beasts that plagued them, freeing island after island from the monsters that terrorized their people. So great was his renown that his name was spoken alongside the mightiest hunts of that whole heroic age, the age that would one day gather heroes from across the world to bring down the great boar of Calydon. In all the world, there seemed to be no hunter who could rival him. But not every pursuit of his was a hunt for beasts, for there were 7 sisters, the lovely daughters of the Titan Atlas, known as the Pleiades, and Orion, struck by their beauty, followed them across the lands, pursuing them without rest. To free the 7 sisters from his endless pursuit, the gods lifted them up into the heavens and set them among the stars, where they shine together even now, a small and gentle cluster of soft light. And still, in the sky, Orion follows them. For the 7 sisters rise each night just ahead of him, and forever he pursues them across the dark, and forever they remain a little beyond his reach. And in the height of his glory, Orion found a companion worthy of him, Artemis, the goddess of the hunt herself. Together they roamed the wild and lonely places, and there was no finer sight beneath the moon than the great hunter and the goddess of the wilderness, hunting side by side. It was, perhaps, the finest season of his long life. But glory, held too long, can turn to pride. Orion's skill was so great and his victories so many that in time his pride swelled beyond all bounds. He came to believe that no living creature could ever stand against him. And one day he spoke that belief aloud. He boasted, for all the world to hear, that he could hunt down and kill every animal upon the face of the earth. Every beast, every bird, every living thing that walked or crawled or flew. He would leave none of them beyond his reach. And that boast was heard by the one who could never forgive it. Gaia, the earth herself, the mother of every creature Orion had sworn to destroy. She would not allow her children to be emptied from the world to satisfy a single hunter's pride. And so, from the deep and hidden places of the ground, she brought forth a creature of her own. Not a mighty beast to meet his strength head to head, but something small and low and endlessly patient. A scorpion, armored and dark, with a deadly sting curled in its tail, and she sent it out to bring the great hunter's hunting to its end. The scorpion found him, and Orion, who had faced 1,000 creatures and conquered everyone, turned to face it as he had faced all the rest. But this was the one hunt he could not win. The low, armored thing pressed on beneath his notice, close against the earth, and at last its sting found him. And the venom of so small a creature did what no lion, no bull, no monster of the wild had ever managed to do. It brought the mightiest hunter in all the world down to the ground. And there Orion fell, undone not by a greater beast, but by the smallest servant of the earth he had scorned. When it was over, the gods would not let so great a hunter be forgotten. And Artemis, who had hunted beside him and grieved to lose him, asked that he be honored among the stars. So they lifted Orion up into the heavens and set him there in all his splendor, striding across the night with his club raised high and his faithful hound at his heel, the most magnificent figure in all the winter sky. But they did not place him near the scorpion, for the two had been enemies in life, and it would not do to bind them together in death. They set them on opposite sides of the turning sky, as far apart as the heavens would allow. And so, to this very night, as the scorpion climbs into the summer dark, Orion slips away beneath the western horizon and is gone. And only when the scorpion has long vanished does the hunter return, to rule the long, cold nights of winter. Forever the scorpion follows, forever the hunter flees, and never again do the two of them share the sky. And so Orion earned his place among the stars, not for his pride, which was his undoing, but for the true greatness that was his, the strength, the skill, and the boundless love of the hunt that no other could ever match. So the next time you find him on a clear winter night, the 3 bright stars of his belt in their perfect line, the red star glowing at his shoulder, the brilliant blue star at his foot, his faithful dog close behind him, and the soft misty glow of his sword, where even now new stars are quietly being born, remember the hunter he was. The greatest the world had ever seen, brought low by his pride, and yet lifted in the end to the very highest place of all. Rest now and let the stars keep watch. For just ahead of him in the sky, that small and shimmering cluster of 7 sisters still rises, night after night, always a little beyond his reach. And they too have a gentle story of their own, waiting quietly in the dark to be told. But that is a tale for another night.